Hey everyone, Mr. Justin here with the Hernando County Public Library System, and we are back with another science experiment video. So I hope you're all ready. This is an easy one that hopefully you all can do at home. All you need for this are going to be marbles and a ruler. And the ruler, this one works okay because it's got kind of this ridge here in the middle, but also the little wooden rulers that have the little ridge in the middle, those would probably work even better. But this type of ruler is going to work today too. But you don't want a ruler that's completely smooth. That's not really going to work very well. You can also kind of use just the table, but best you want kind of like a little path for our marbles to travel, so a ruler is going to be the best option for that. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about kinetic energy and the transfer of that energy from one object to another. Now let's imagine that you're on a roller coaster and you're going up the hill. When you're up on the hill and you're going up and up and up and up, you're building up that potential energy. When you get to the top of the hill and you start moving down, you start doing the motion down the hill and up the hill and down the hill, you're now exerting kinetic energy. And kinetic energy is the energy that an object has when it's in motion. So it's at the bottom of the hill and it's going with its speed and it's got moving, it's got that motion. That's when it, at the bottom of that first hill is when it should have its most kinetic energy. And of course, as it's in motion, it's going to be exerting kinetic energy. So what we've got today to kind of exhibit kinetic energy is I'm going to put a marble on the ruler, and if I push it, it's motion, right? It's moving. It's going to keep moving until there's a force that's going to stop it from moving. Here on Earth, that force is usually going to be gravity is going to stop it, or it hits the end of the ruler. So it's going to move. But what's going to happen is we are going to put another marble right here. And I'm going to put the first marble at the end, and I'm going to kind of flick it or just push it a little bit, and we'll see what happens. There we go. So we can see that the first marble kind of kept moving just a little bit, but it pretty much stayed in one spot. The other one just kept moving. So when there was the collision, the kinetic energy that the first marble had, and when they collided, transferred to the second one, and the second one moved. You can see it even better once we add more marbles to our ruler. So now I'm going to have our first one here at the end, and we're going to have the two marbles touching each other right next to each other over on this side of the ruler. I'm going to push it, and let's see what happens. What do you think is going to happen when I push it? Okay, let's find out. And we can see in that case, the first marble hit the second marble, transferred its kinetic energy, but then immediately the kinetic energy of this marble transferred to the third one. So these two stayed still, causing the third one to keep moving. And these two transferred all of their kinetic energy off to the third marble. So let's look at that again. And that worked perfectly that time. Let's hope it works good again. There we go. I even pushed a little harder that time. And it still, they weren't too close that time. There we go. Now what happens when we add a third marble? Let's find out. Here we go. And again, we have the kinetic energy from the first one transferred to the second one, which transferred to the third one, which transferred to the fourth one. So the fourth one was the only one that ended up continuing its movement to the other side of the ruler. Let's try that again. Oops, not hard enough. There we go. Did you see? That worked pretty well. So hard it kept going off the ruler. But even though we pushed it and we have a line of three marbles, only the last one in the line continued the motion because of the transfer of that kinetic energy. Just for fun, I'm going to add two more for our last thing today. And we are going to have 5 marbles, including the 6th one that we're going to start with. And do you think the same thing is going to happen? Let's find out. Are you ready? Let's push this pretty hard. There we go. Same exact thing. So again, we start with the one marble. We collided it into 5, a line of 5, and the transfer of kinetic energy kept going until it hit the final one, which had nothing else to collide into, so it kept moving down the ruler. Let's look at that again. And there we go, exactly what happened. And so you can keep testing it also with different circular objects, spherical objects, to see if it does the same thing, but it should. And right here we have our little path on the ruler allowing us to move in straight lines, so that works perfectly. And let's do it one more time. It's kind of fun to watch. And so what happened is we used kinetic energy, and we were able to observe the transfer of energy from one object to another, even when they're in a perfectly straight line, like all of these marbles. So I hope you can do this experiment at home. It's a nice, simple, easy, very clean one too. It's not going to be messy. And so you can go ahead and experiment with this at home. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun with today's science video, and we'll see you later. Bye, everyone.